He's an actor, an entrepreneur, and also a philanthropist. And he actually stepped up his game in 2001. And I can just think about the years that he has been in this game, with over 150 movies to his credit. And I don't know what is it about sex scenes that anytime Bonez say, Jimmy, about sex scenes, I don't really know, but what is it about sex scenes in Jamaica? But who be out to say, if you are now who you sometimes you ask the question, why is it that Jim has been portrayed as the bad boy? But now we are here with the man himself, Superman now. And he has a lot under his portfolio, and the whole world is witnessing something different that they never thought Jamaica is. Because a lot of us know him as a screen god, not the business, not the philanthropic work and all that. And also a musician as well, because I remember the album on Tamed Records and all that. So now, are you still doing music now?
No, music was a vocation. It was, a side, curriculum. We were just, I was hanging a lot those days, especially in New York with Two-Face, Sultan of Blessed Memory, and a few other Dubanj and all of us. So after a while, we thought, hey, one day in the studio, we had a night with Mary J. Blige. Two-Face actually had a collaboration with Mary J. Blige in Brooklyn, in New York. So when we were done with that, we decided we didn't have anything to do that night. So we thought, let's put out a single together. And before we knew, we were writing different songs, and it ended up being an album.
Now, did you enjoy being a musician?
Yeah, it's a novel ground. It's something new. I like challenges. I'm not afraid to laugh at myself. I'm not afraid to fail. I love to be successful, but from a different creed. So it was another branch of success for me, another branch of discovery. But I quickly learned that music is not my thing. I'm not very good at it. But the business of music, I understand, and they're setting up properly where we can do that business, and offers a record label where we can begin to bring in first-class talent and then do it the way that we want to do it.
Now, Jim, a lot of people know for sure that in 2001, that is when you actually got into the mainstream movie industry and all that. But how was life before 2001 for Jim Iyke?
I got in this when I was about 20 years old, basically. I've been doing this since I was barely a teen. I got my first degree at 19 and a half, so I was going to go for my master's. Because I put a double degree on coming out, So I didn't want to do that when I discovered this. I went for an audition once, and I was smitten, so to speak, by this. My parents wouldn't let me, they wouldn't let me do anything else. So basically, what they did, please, can you remove that? It's not the discussion. Please
okay.
Have them remove it right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please, you take that one off of the screen for me. Yeah.
So what we wanted to do was to focus entirely on something that was different. And this was what I wanted to do. And when I had that conversation with my parents, they didn't like it, and I persisted. And my dad threw me out. Yeah, basically said, you can't take my last name if this is what you want to pursue. But I insisted that this is what I wanted to do. And I went out there and I did it. So I couldn't come home for about 2 years.
So you never had the blessing of your father?
In the initial stages, no. I was geared for a career in the financial world. That's where I was going with it. But if you understand anything about the Igbos, especially from Nigeria, they're very forthright they plan their kids' life from inception to probably the grave. They'll keep planning your life even from their grave. So that was his plans for me, and I didn't want that. I've never rebelled in my life. I've always been a first-class student, first-class son. I have 6 sisters, so my idea is you can live this dream of a financial empire or whatever with your daughters, but their key investment, their chief hope and everything is rested on the male child. So we had a disagreement. Me and him, we've always been best of friends. It didn't work out, too many fights and too many disagreements. And one day, he didn't do it because it was supposed to be some sort of shock, a wake-up shock. He thought kicking me out, he thought, okay.
Would actually deter you from doing that?
Yes, yeah, okay, he's never suffered in his life. So when he gets out there and see what it was, like 1 week he'll come back and beg, and then we reinstate him in our original plan. But he probably didn't take into account my will. And I left. There was no hope. There was nothing else to discuss. He said I can't use his last name, so I left. I didn't come back for 2 years.
2 years? You cut ties with them?
They cut ties with me. I didn't cut ties with them, So my mom...
Just in pursuit of a dream?
Yeah. I mean, after 2-3 weeks, he realized that this boy was going to continue this. So he asked them to bring me back. I didn't want to go back. Because going back, I asked a simple question, is he ready to support what I want to do? He said, no, but come back home. I can't have you. If anything happens to you, I won't be able to live with myself. But I said, I'm not coming back. So my mom, she tried to mend fences. Women always see the vision. Women are the ones with intuition. And I didn't come from that home. My family background is mostly traders, businessmen, erudites. I have a lot of professors and all that stuff. Even scientists, but not the arts. So, and his argument was superior then. He said, listen, I'm a loner by nature. I like being by myself a lot. And then he was like, you don't even come downstairs to greet family members. You're always in your room. You're a loner by nature, and you're excruciatingly shy. I was extremely shy.
Yeah.
And so how can you act? How is it possible? Even if I give my blessings, how can you even succeed in that field when everything that you do is anti this job? You have no skill set. You have no training. You have nothing. I mean, and this is what you've done. We've trained you up until this point to be something else. How can you overnight assume to be another thing and think you'll succeed in it? So they didn't believe, they didn't see it. We had no background, I had no training. So I was angry at first for a long time. But when I juxtaposed it with reason and I started to understand that if I were a parent and I had a son that was extremely good at school, and he wakes up one day to make a career out of what seems hopeless in a sense, and didn't have any background. Of course, you know that acting is not the kind of place that you go and get a pension when you're retiring. So would I support him? I said no. And so I saw reasons for him. Would I pressurize him into changing his mind? I'll probably do worse. But I mean, God's hand was ordered.
So, like, for that 2 years that you were not actually going back home upon all the kind of efforts that they made in bringing you back home, what was the thing that kept you going, and how are you surviving?
I don't know. I really don't know, my friend. I don't know. I've been asked that question in every part of the world. I don't know. There was so much alien things that were happening to me. I had nowhere to lay my head sometimes. Friends that I depended on that used to come to my house for holidays. My dad would give them money at the end of holidays to go back to school. All of a sudden, couldn't take me in for more than 2 days. I slept under the bridge 3 or 4 times. There was a time my friend came back, saw me talking with his girlfriend, just having a conversation, and he kicked me out. And so I took my backpack. I had nowhere to go. There's a friend I was hoping I was going to sleep in his house. When I got there, he had gone out for some party, and his gate man wouldn't let me go to the boys' quarters where they were. So the nearest option to wait for him, and this guy is someone that comes to my house, stays 2 weeks, stays 1 week. My mom would give him money when he's leaving, and he couldn't make the journey to leave his party and come and open his doors for me to sleep because I was exhausted. But the money, when I got kicked out, the money I had only took me about 3-4 bus stops away from his house. So I walked the rest of the bus stop. So when he didn't come back, I had to find somewhere to wait for him. The only place I could take it. So I took my backpack and hid it near his gate because I could get attacked and I went there, and then there was somewhere under the bridge. I slept there till the morning. And I got bitten with so many mosquitoes. By the morning, when I came back and I was telling him where I slept, he didn't even care. He didn't believe me because a lot of them just think, listen, go back home. What's the big deal? Why are you chasing this thing? So anyway, he took me in. The next day I was extremely sick because of the mosquito bites. I got malaria, and he kicked me out the 3rd day because he thought I was going to die. I was so sick that he told his parents that he took me in and I was very sick. And his parents said, listen, something is wrong. Let him go. He can't stay here. So my friend came to tell me that I had to leave his house. And I pleaded and I told him, listen, I'm really sick. Can I just get better before I leave? But he insisted and I left. And then I went somewhere else. There was a cousin I've not been in contact with for years. It's one of the people my dad trained as well. They put through school. He took me in, nursed me. I was extremely sick for about 10 days. I got better. So what he used to do is that I would join him. I didn't want to stay with any semblance of family. That's why I didn't go to him at first. Okay. So he would take me, drop me off at audition grounds before he goes off to his office where he worked. He was a lawyer, So it was difficult.
The good, the bad, the ugly moments of life, and I think you've been through it all.
Every second of them. Yeah, I understand life, and my understanding of life didn't come from classrooms. It came from life.
And Daddy's boy, now on the street, begging for a place to sleep.
Or eat. Sometimes it will be 2 days without proper food. Yeah.
But
because I don't know why these guys choose to kick me out every time there's a meal coming. So sometimes I will ask, listen, can I even get something to eat before I go? They'll hustle up some biscuits, some bread and butter, put it down. So yeah. But these were people I shared space with of comfort. They have come into my home, eating from my mother's kitchen. And my mother will give them money when we're leaving. Sometimes they'll take my clothes, sometimes I'll take theirs. I thought they were brothers, but life quickly taught me that against all odds, if anything, understand one thing, that you were brought into this world alone.
Being in this world alone and gotten that picture being exhibited clearly to you now, how did you manage to sail through till now?
For every time I got disappointed, they forged a certain will. Listen, suffering can break you, or make you. Mine made me, I just understood that. Now I really want this thing. Because going back home is the reverse of the philosophy that was building in me. The philosophy is that I will admit defeat, and that would be my label for the rest of my life there. That I tried something new and never saw to the end, and now I'm living this life. It could be a life of comfort for whatever career trajectory I choose. But then I've seen my friends for what they are, and I'm beginning to understand that life is not really that simple. And so these friends will always have a laugh like, at some point, he came through us and never made whatever it is before he went back to me. So that became an obsession. The obsession was that I don't care the space I find myself. For people that were more talented than me, they will never outwork me. For people that were more gifted than me, or people that had more experience or backgrounds, they will never outwork me. I was obsessed with work. So from then on, I strived. I understood what needed to be done. So every time I came to auditions, they would offer me small roles because you have to start small. I refused. I know they kept offering me these small roles and I refused. I remember one producer came to me once and said, look at you. Every time I see you wear the same sneakers, every time I see you wear the same t-shirt, the same jeans. I know you don't even have up to 10 naira in your account. Why are you refusing? Take the small roles, we pay you small money, from there you build. And I said, no. I'm as good as those guys up there, and that's what I want. So I never got small roles, so I couldn't survive. That's why I had to move from place to place. One time I got a really good role. I don't want to mention names, but there were a bunch of big actors then, all the big names because they came before me. Yeah. And I came and I read. After auditioning, I was exemplary. I was the best in the audition. So the producer gave me the script and said, congratulations. And for the first time, I got 40,000 naira. They paid me cash. So I took the money and I stood outside. I just didn't know what to do with myself. I've never seen that kind of money since I left home. So I was just happy, I don't know, at the point of tears. Those guys were so overwhelmed what they saw or whatever it is. They had a meeting. Apparently, there's a certain gentleman, I wouldn't mention his name, who was also big then, that rejected the role they offered me. They said, you know what, we'll have enough stars. This guy said, I want 200,000 for the role. They offered him 150, so he rejected it. So the producer said, since I have enough stars, let me try this. Where is that guy that only refused small roles? Let's give him something big this time.
Yeah.
So they gave me, because they wanted to pay me small money. Do you know those guys came together and said, okay, how much did the big guy want? They said 150. And how much, 200. How much you have? 150. They donated money amongst themselves. Completed, they told him, take 10K from our fee. Complete is 200, bring that guy. We don't want this guy. I was still standing outside when the producer came outside and took the script and the money from me. They told me, give me the money. I gave him. I said, give me the script. I gave him. He said, I'm sorry, we're giving the role back to this guy. It's not yours anymore. I just stood there dumb, shocked, like, what is going on? You're telling me, they said, no, that's not mine. I remember 2 big actresses then were arguing like, what you people are doing is not right. This guy was the best. They said, no, these are the big weights, because they threatened that if they give me the role, they'll walk out. I don't know what they saw. I was no threat to them. There was nothing. I was just a kid starting out. I think I was 21 then. So he took the money and said, okay, but there's a small role. Are you going to take the role? I said no. And that's when he said it. I look at you, you have nothing going for you. Why don't you take this and survive? And I walked away, but I didn't want him to see me cry. I had too much pride to see. So I turned around and I told him that in a few years, you're going to work for me. I swear. He's passed now. I told him in a few years you're going to work for me. And he laughed and told me I should get out of here before he gets security to throw me out. So I left, cried somewhere else, and I was walking home when those women were driving and they saw me at the bus stop. And one of them took some money and gave me and said, don't worry, your time will come. He said some funny, nice things you say to losers, And the money was enough to feed me that afternoon and get me back home. When I got back home, I saw my cousin. My cousin was telling me, and I already called my cousin, funny enough, and I told him I got the role. Yeah?
And now the role has
Now the role was taken. So there was budgets, there was bills to pay at home. I was supposed to bring half the money to get groceries, pay for some of this, and I came back empty-handed. So he told me, you know what, I'm tired of you coming back empty-handed. You're leaving my house today.
And you were kicked out that day too?
He got kicked out that day too. So as I was leaving, the landlady of the house was like, you're kicking out your blood because of because I was standing by the gate. And she said, you know what, my kid brother just came back from UK and he lives in the boys' quarters of the family house. She gave me a note, gave me some money, and said, go and meet him. Go and stay with him and get yourself together from there. I've never met this woman in my life. So I went there, and this guy took me in like we're friends till tomorrow. Our kids are friends. It became like I lived in his house for 6 months. In 4 or 5 months, I made enough money to pack out, but we're so comfortable. With me, him, and his girlfriend, we lived together. I lived in the other room, they lived in the master bedroom. So it took a stranger to take me in, and my blood couldn't do anything for me. It kicked me out. Because I heard from home that I couldn't go home anymore. So, that's life.
So, what has been those elements that has kept you throughout your journey into acting, into business, and into your philanthropic work that you're doing?
Because those things don't only enhances your character, it defines who you are. It's your memories, your background, your blueprint, things you've been through that defines you at the end and shapes you. People wonder why I still walk the way I do. I don't need to. But I don't know any other life. This is the life I know. People wonder, why do I choose certain kinds of friendship? It's not, I cultivate friendship at the highest level for business, for a certain thing. But my best friends don't come from that world, because they're the ones that understand. And then there's a certain life I live as well, the life of give back. Because I believe every time you take a camera or you record you giving something to somebody, you're killing that person. For somebody to ask you for help, he's already lowered his dignity and his self-respect. The best you can do to lift him is to give him without witness. Why do you have to record it? For self-gratification, so people will see you helping another person. You're already taking your reward from God.
Yeah.
So if you help privately, his kids are watching, his wife is watching, or their husband is watching, and they have self-pride, and you're recording your help to that person, and you say that it's a way to motivate other people, but you've taken away that person's dignity, even if you're helping the person, because you've marred his kids for life. They are watching you, record and make a public nuisance of somebody they look up to that brought them to this world while you're helping them. I don't do all that stuff. So I think that's the definition. That's the difference. That's what defines, who you are. Because I've been through it quietly, and the people that helped me quietly, and they never spoke about it till tomorrow. So that's what I understand.
And I think, like, for the past, 4, 5 years or 6 years down the lane,
I've been out of the scene.
Yes, like somebody say, like you took a hiatus from the acting.
That's a proper word for it. We were creating a lot of businesses. I'm very good at opening doors. I'm not just good at manning the doors. So what we were doing then, we created so many businesses across them. I'm an investor by nature. I don't know how to stack money but yeah, we invest. That's how you build your legacy. That's how you build wealth. But I was handing it into the hands of people that were far less passionate than me. And every time I leave the business to build another one, it will run down. So we recorded back-to-back failures. Even though I was used to it, I was used to it. So what I was doing was I was looking out for people qualification all the time. People that had masters, that went to premium school. No, I removed the street element. I needed people that had native intelligence, that understand how to hustle, how to move in the streets a certain way, how to bring it back. So that was a mistake we were making. And after a while, my father explained it to me. He said, the passion you drive, the way you are the business. Stop putting the business into other people's hands. The grace, the blessing is in your hands. You have to see it through. So the only way you see it through is that you can't multitask your pursuits. Shut one down, focus on one another. So movie had to be shut down. I'm too established there. There's no fear there anymore. I can come anytime I like. I've given 10 and a half years of my life to this establishment. I've been doing it since I was a teen. So it's not going anywhere. Anytime I come, I'm still who I am. Nobody can take my place. I promise you. So I had to establish this other side. So it took 5 years until every one of the business stood. Pulled my sisters from everywhere they were, brought them in to man all my business. My brothers-in-laws as well. We all work together. So it's a family empire.
And now you've actually gone back to your first love.
Movies.
But what is it about movies that you can't live without them?
God created you to be exemplary in one thing, and one thing alone. God created you to be genius on one thing, and one thing alone. That you lack is that you've not discovered it. Or you've discovered it, you don't know how to sell it to the world. This is the one that comes easiest to me. This is the one I fought hardest for. The others came easily to me. It was when I opened this door that every other thing came. So this one is my blessing, my easiest blessing. I became good at every other thing because I trained for it. I trained in financial literacy. I learned it from classroom. This was the only thing I did that never came to me through a classroom. This was the only thing I did that tutors didn't teach me, mentors didn't teach me. And I fought hardest for this. So to keep it alive, to keep it going is my one desire. To make it successful has always been a desire. So I had to decide that once in a while, when I'm ready to do the business of filmmaking, it has to be amplified at the highest level. And so that's what we did. I don't know, after this time, I don't know when I'm coming back. It could be 2 or 3 years from now. Who cares? I'm having a good time.
So how much went into this, like the production of this very movie that we
Under
watched?
$1 million went to this one. It was supposed to cost $5 million. But, because of the relationship and the ties that we had, we crossed our budget 5 times. But because it was a personal funding with some special friends of mine as well, there was no fear. I shut down 3, 4 scenes and went to redo it because we wanted a perfect movie. Okay, and it took time. It took over 1 year of going back and forth. We finished this film shortly before the pandemic, the shutdown, the global shutdown. And I was taking my son to Disney Paris, to give him a treat for doing so well in school. And when we got there, the US shut down. I couldn't take him back to the US. He lives in the States. Before we knew it, Amsterdam shut down. We were coming from Amsterdam. Then Paris shut down. So I was trying to rush to London to take him to his cousins. England shut down. Now I was saying, okay, you've never been to Nigeria, so might as well go now. Nigeria shut down. So I was stuck in Paris for 6 months. So I think within that time was when, every other thing started coming into place, and we could not release Bad Comment. It took us about a year post-pandemic, and then this is perhaps the best time, because the conversation about social media is being had across different divide. My country just shut down a major platform because the leadership were not happy with what the millennials just staged what was the biggest protest of all times on African soil, because they were not happy with the way their leadership were treating them all through social media. So the film had to be about something that everybody can resonate around. So I had to create it around social media.
So, like, are you the writer behind the story, or probably like
this is what we did.
Storyline?
Somebody wrote the story, and then I called 12 of my really brilliant friends, put them in a room, and told them the scenario. Then we kept 5 phones to record, and we argued. So we brought every scene. It was a Sunday. We did this for 6 hours. We take a break, eat, chill out, have a smoke, drink, come back. 6 hours. And at the end, we had a perfect story. We visited every scenario, every scene, every possibilities, every backdrop. So what we recorded was what we gave to the screenplay guy and said, carve your story from there. So essentially, we are the story.
Can you bet on this movie that if somebody watched this movie and he's not impressed about like the storyline or the things that he ought to say, like you go like, come back for your money? Can you bet your life?
Because you heard me saying that already. You know you heard me saying that. I kept saying it, that if you watch this film, you don't like it, I'll refund you your money.
No, I am asking that because you know you said you actually called 12 of the best brains.
Yes, in my world. It doesn't have to be globally the best brain. What I consider best brain may not be another person's idea of it. But these are men that have created things within business, I've created personal things with, and I know how smart they are.
And I think today, when I shared that, somebody asked me, is the movie on Netflix, or is it going to be on any of the international?
Why are we always quick to say Netflix and everything?
I know.
That is the bane of our lack of support. It's making the rounds. This is the second month in the theaters back home. It just came to Accra Mall last week. Last 2 weeks, is it? Last 2 weeks. So why is everybody waiting for Netflix? It's not everybody has Netflix. That's why we're doing this, so that people that can't afford Netflix or don't have Netflix can come and watch the movie. And that's why we're buying out theaters. I don't have to do it. I don't need the money. So we're buying out theaters so that people that can't afford it can come and watch the movie. These are people that have kept me in the limelight all my life, and I owe them a certain responsibility. You know, I didn't come for the guys that have money. They can. My friends that have money are buying theaters, private theaters, and go and watch it. No, but there's somebody that stopped me and said, "I love your film. I heard it just came out a new film. I don't have money now. I would have liked to watch it." That touched me. Now that's not somebody you can take money and give to them. They may find other needs and don't see the movie, but I want them to see this movie. So I buy out theaters and I tell them it's free. Go and watch it.
But I know you've been in Ghana for some time back, and now coming back and all that. I know you know the Ghanaian movie industry, like the entertainment industry and all that. And I know, looking at how much you invested into this project, and looking at, I don't know, but for sure, I can tell you that I don't know the highest budgeted movie that will come close to this project in Ghana here. What do you think is actually? Somebody will say, do you see that the Ghanaian movie industry is growing? And if not, what do you think is the issue with it?
It's growing, but the reason it's not going so far is because you have so much pockets of interest. It's not a collective. It's not a consensus. Everybody is so busy doing their individual thing to further their own aim, the individual aim. You can only get so far. As a collective, together, you go further. There's power in numbers. We're the most amplified voices in the society. That's why you're called celebrities. You can force anybody to the table. You can force your government to the table. You can force your leadership to the table. You can force your private sector to the table and tell them it's time to look at this. You can bring experts that understand this business. For a long time, we were planning a partnership where Nigerians were coming in here, doing business, showing you the ropes, how to do the business of show business. What everybody is here is so fixated on the show, they forget that it's a business to it. We understand the business. So after a while, people are like, Nigerians can't come here, they are taking over. But you don't understand it. Yet you find it easy to be colonized by white people. But your own come, yes, they will take from me. Yes, they will take a bigger share than you. They will even exploit you. Let it be. as long as you're learning. You learn to a point, you become a master. And you cannot ask them, you can show them the door. Or you can tell them, now you're working this partnership with my own terms. But if it happened to prematurely, some people started feeling intimidated, some people started feeling, and they shut that door quickly. We open our doors to outside influence. Anybody that can come, as long as you have knowledge or you have resources, we'll take it from you once you're in and decide how you want to deal with us. That's how it's done.
The name is Jim Iyke, and he's an actor, an entrepreneur, and also a philanthropist. And Mr. Jim Iyke, if I should put it that way. Now, how is family life?
Beautiful. Probably the best thing that's happened to me in my life. I wish I started earlier. I didn't think I would enjoy family life. I was really worried about how much I enjoy my space of being by myself. I'm not one that cultivates friendship, really. The 5 friends that I've known all my life understand me. They understand that I may not ask for you in 4 months. More, I mean, when you want my help or when you want to be with me, or if I want to be with you, I go find you anywhere you are in the world. I was worried that might affect my family life, but as soon as my boys came, I understood why God blessed us with family. You know, they feel my word. They make me laugh all the time. Any escape, you know, this thing called entertainment it takes your time, your life, and sometimes you give it your soul. You have to find succor. You have to find your quiet place, a place where there's groundedness. To them, I'm not Jim Iyke, I'm Papa. Okay, they worry me, they stress me, they jump on me, they insult me, you know, they push me around, and I love it. My world doesn't treat me that way, and family life is the best thing ever.
Is any of them actually acting the way that you did to Papa way back to you?
No. Yeah. I'm a lion, man. I'm not going to give back to sheep. You know, a lion begets a lion. They're lions. They understand. Watch how they grow, how they command their space, the way they're leaders in their space, and I also enjoy this degree of stubbornness that comes with it. They're my children. Do you expect them to be anything less? But now I understand how to control their kinetics. I understand how to control their energy. I understand how to pivot it. I don't show them to the world because I want them to make their mistakes and wake up to it. And later in their life, if they show me that they want to do what I do, I know the biggest actors in the world, I know the biggest doors, I'll open the doors to them. But if that's not their life, I would have exposed them too early by bringing them out in all this social media thing and the public. But they're boys that will make mistakes. They're boys that will go down. They're boys that will fail before they begin to succeed, before they master their craft and master themselves. I'm not going to expose them too early. I think it's wrong.
All right, so now I would like to ask this question. I don't know, but do you intend investing into the Ghanaian movie industry?
I'm a businessman. Are you going to invest where you will get returns? Already, there's something in motion already. There's a company I'm trying to invest in here. I'm bringing financiers as well. I'm not going to mention names now, obviously, because it's wrong. But we're into household utensils. And the argument already is that, okay, how would this play? And I told them that one thing, before we close this deal, we have to take a Ghanaian actress to complement my face. We have to take 2 young kids from Ghana to supplement the family structure because a family, product, base product. So that is a leg in the right direction, and to probably put some money in someone's pocket. The billboards will be everywhere soon before December, and the commercials and all that. However, in films proper, because I said I'm a businessman, I'm about the business of show business. I don't do the show anymore. Except I see a reason that if I invest, I'll get my returns. I don't do things emotionally anymore. I'm not going to say because I love this land and the people, I'll carry money and dump into a project I'm not going to get a return. What I can do, however, is that on our next project, we want to be more Pan-Africanist about it. I have an actor from Angola that's coming. I have somebody from Zanzibar that's coming. When I went on holidays, I discovered this dude is on a whole different level. I'm bringing in a South African, and I'm bringing in majorly Nigerians. And of course, I'm going to open doors to my Ghanaian brothers and sisters to join us. I want to create a film now that's purely Pan-African, that anybody you know, that's of our birth and our heritage we enjoy. So yes, there are collaborations in that order.
Now we are here for
Bad comments.
Bad comments, and tomorrow I understand like there's a party at the basement.
Let me run you through the program.
Yeah.
Okay, so Micklin Hotel is the venue for my premiere tomorrow. It starts, first show, there are 2 shows. First show is 6 to 8 p.m. Second show is 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And after the 10 p.m., we are going to the basement in Kumasi Mall for the after party. We're having a ball. I've not partied in a long time, so it's going to be a party animal style till morning. Now, the fee, I made it really low so everybody can come in. I have 30 CDs for single and 50 CDs for double. And the VIP is 50 CDs single, 100 CDs double. VIP will afford you both the screening as well as the after party. You can come into the club. While single will only afford you access to the screening. If you want the after party, you have to pay to get in. So I mean, that's the structure of it. You know, we're asking Ghanaian and Kumerica, do something different. Somebody should come out and say, you know what, I'm buying 10 seats, Jim, or 20 seats. Just give it out free to people. That's what I expect. And I'm not seeing it, so I'm wondering where are the big boys in the city?
Yeah. So, but I don't know if there is a contact that people would actually can call for.
Yeah, there's a number. Give me that number.
Yeah.
Give me that number. Where's Amanze? Give me a number.
Amanze,
you can reach.
I don't know if it is your number. Yeah. So please, if you need tickets, just call this number 0244 62 6940 0244 626940. If you need tickets or any information about this whole project, Bad Comments, I know people will be calling and bombarding with the calls today. 0244 626940. But Jim, let me ask, aside the screening and other things, would there be other entertainment things?
Red carpet is by 5 p.m. Japanese people's time. We're not saying African people's time. By 5 p.m. I'm going to be there on the dot. You can take all the pictures you want. You can converse. We'll hang out. I'm on a charm offensive. We're going to have a ball at that time. But 6 sharp, we're going in to start the film. So because we have to be clockwise and then move.
All right, so just call her. If probably you call her Manzibar, you can have a word or two with Jim as well. So just call for your ticket. After buying the ticket, you know what to do. Just go out there, have fun at Micklin Hotel, 6 p.m. and 8 p.m.
Yeah, first show.
Then after party,
8 p.m. to 10, second
10 p.m.
show.
So then
from
later
10.
it's at the basement for the after party. And one ticket is doing that magic for you. Why don't you go get it and let's have some great time together? I'll be there. So be there or be nowhere. That's what's up. Jim, thank you so much for your time today. And I don't know, finally, wrapping up with you a message that you have for your fans who have been with you from day one till now. I
mean, it's the same thing. I've never really changed. Okay, it's the same thing till hopefully I'm 100. So the authenticity, my ingenuity in everything I pursue is based on praise, your support, and your love, and I appreciate that very much.
And please, we have something special for you. Yeah,
is it a private jet?
It's more than a private jet, though. Yeah, this is hurry up for me, please. MCR, just spare me some few minutes. Please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, please,